What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the best Glacial Cascade Elementalist build in POE Exile 3.27. This setup focuses on generating powerful chills and freezes, giving you reliable crowd control, and that makes boss fights and mapping much safer and easier. On top of that, it delivers satisfying cold bursts that wipe out enemies in seconds. Best of all, we're able to reach 4 void stones mostly by using affordable rare gear, with no need for high cost unique items. If you're looking for this build's POE building, then click my link in the description. And before we continue, thanks to U4GM, they are a pro website that provides POE Exile services like cheap currency, then even to trade all types of top quality items and mirrors and much more. They also have more than 20,000 positive comments on Trustpilot, and this website is really worth a try, so make sure to use my discount code KATE for extra 6% off. So, this Glacial Cascade Elementalist will combine the raw elemental power of the cold damage with golem support and physical to cold scaling for huge bursts of the screen clearing damage. The build excels thanks to multiple defensive layers, strong sustain and a solid early game survivability, making it capable of comfortably reaching and farming the endgame content. The frequent freezes and chills it applies will let you control encounters with ease, while rapid casts and overlapping spikes from the Glacial Cascade will make it for satisfying and efficient clears. The gear requirements are modest and mostly rare items, and you can push to 4 void stones without needing a high cost unique. It's a versatile, well-rounded setup that's surprisingly tanky for a witch. However, the build does have few drawbacks, like being vulnerable to off-screen physical hits and requiring active play due to its self-cast nature. So let's take a look at this build setup, and while leveling, make sure that you're frequently upgrading your wand. Pick a better one as you progress or check vendors in new acts. Using essences with flat elemental or physical damage will help tremendously. A wand with a +1 to cold or physical spell gems is a significant power spike. Grab strength nodes early on, so you can equip all of your gems, and don't forget a sapphire ring before facing Mervel. You'll also need a jade amulet for dexterity, which you can buy from Yena or Nessa from a transmutation orb. A ruby ring will help with the wall runes for fire damage. And once you hit level 20, 2 stone rings will become vital for maxing out your elemental resistances. Early on, Grace of Aura adds a major defensive boost and can replace the Herald of Thunder of Purity. Wait before you'll find a solid 4 link before switching into the Glacial Cascade, as Alphar support gems are essential for the combo. Your first labyrinth should unlock the Leech of Primordial, which offers a big spike in power through your golems. Be sure to grab Golem Commander so you can summon the full set. Critical strike scaling will begin just before the lab, and ramps up when you gain Summon Ice Golem at level 34. In the Cruel Lab, take Shaper of the Flames for excellent physical mitigation via the Ignite, but keep moving and attacking to maintain the effect. And then in Merc Lab, the Shaper of the Storms will add a reliable shock effect by boosting the damage even more. And of course, all of this info and more you can simply check and follow from the POE building. Then next for Ascendancies, this Elementalist build is focused on amplifying elemental power and maximizing the value of the golems. First, the Leech of Primordial will give you a huge boost by enhancing the golem damage, granting elemental immunity benefits and letting you summon an extra golem. It's a cornerstone for the build's damage and utility. After that, get the Shaper of the Flames, which turns every hit into Ignite, making your cold damage convert beautifully, while also acting as a defensive layer. Then third, get the Shaper of the Storms, that guarantees that your hits can shock, and increasing the effect, letting you scale enemy damage taken. Lastly, Shaper of the Winter makes your cold hits always chill, slowing enemies and giving you better control over the fights. Together, these Ascendancy choices will push your elemental output to their limit, while also supporting survivability and the golem synergy. Next up we have the passive tree, and it's fully optimized around casting the Glacial Cascade at the maximum efficiency. Our skilled path prioritizes cold and elemental damage scaling, while also picking up the critical strike chance and the multiplier to ensure a high burst potential. You'll notice that I have spread a bunch of notable nodes across the tree. The reason for it is to get the most optimized spell damage boost, elemental penetration and cast speed, which are all great additions to make both mapping and bossing feel smooth and responsive. There's also a thoughtful investment into the mana regeneration and the energy shield nodes. To manage the build's high spell cast, and the use of cluster jewels will add powerful customization without sacrificing core damage scaling. Attribute points are also smartly taken to ensure that gear and gem requirements are met naturally. For defenses, the build uses energy shield, moderate life and the strong elemental resistances, as well as spell suppression to stand firm in the dangerous encounters. Overall, this skill tree is very much tuned for the late game content and strikes a great balance between the offense and survivability. Then next up, let's go over the skill gems. Glacial Cascade deals its damage in 4 bursts, with the final spike hitting the hardest. With even minimal scaling from the Flame Golem, it's easy to line up to 2 to 3 overlaps per cast, which dramatically increases your damage output. Positioning is also key, so you want the largest explosion to land just behind the enemy. If you are standing directly on top of them, then you will lose most of the impact. With the 120% or more increased area, all 4 hit overlaps will become consistent. Your golems will come online at level 34 and bring a huge boost to every aspect of your character, so damage, defenses, recovery and AoE. Thanks to the Leech of the Primordial, you don't need to worry if they die, as they will respawn after 4 seconds, so use Flame, Stone, Lightning and the Ice Golem early, and then replacing the Ice Golem with a Stone Golem of a safeguarding when you can, and attaching the Guardian's Blessing to grant Zealotry during fights. Just be aware that the setup can kill the Golem if you haven't invested into the minion regen. Once you've upgraded your gear, make sure all of your sockets are in the right colors and the links. Don't hesitate to use crafting currency like the Javelers, Fusing and the Chromatic Orbs. The skill gem section in your POB will help you to get everything set up correctly. Next we have gear. After finishing campaign, difficulty will spike significantly, and having weak gear will start to hold you back. This is when you want to spend your chaos orbs to upgrade your loadout. Prioritize getting life on every item and maximizing your elemental resistances. It doesn't matter which slot the resistances come from, just that you hit your cap. Look for a wand with at least 1+ to spell level, some spell damage and critical strike chance. When possible, craft a mod that gives you a chance to deal double damage, which will greatly increase your ability to freeze and chill enemies. If a 6 link is out of reach, then Tabula Rasa is a solid budget option that doubles your damage output compared to a 4 link. Then the Heat Shiver helmet is a massive boost to this build also. However, it's expensive but extremely impactful if you can get it, and once equipped and paired with the Herald of Ash, you can unlock the full uptime on the Trinity support. Just don't use Trinity until you have the Heat Shiver equipped. Before that, go with the Bone Chill if you have taken the Shaper of Winter, or just use increased critical damage otherwise. Without Heat Shiver, a rare helmet with life or resistances will do just fine as well. Next up we have our mercenaries. Ideal mercenaries to support this build are the ones that provide powerful auras, so aim for one with grace, another one with haste, and one offering aspect of the spider. A merc with fortify, vitality and enduring cry will round out things nicely. For gear, dying breath is a solid weapon choice, while Leer cast gives a helpful damage buff for the helmet slot. Then Ascendancy's cassock is also a good body armor option. Then use gloves with the unnerve implicit, and for boots, go with the windscreen for an extra curse or boots with a stabbed ground for survivability. Belts like Camo's Binding or the Pyroshock clasp will work well, and for rings, Kikazaru and the Timeless Clap are great picks. And then finish this off with a Shaper Seed as your amulet. Next up, let's take a look at the gameplay. While mapping, our playstyle is very straightforward. Cast Glacial Cascade towards the enemy packs and watch them explode. With a high cast speed and Frostblink or the Wintry Blast, you will fly through the maps quickly. For tougher enemies or bosses, position yourself slightly away to maximize the final burst of the Glacial Cascade. Make sure to begin fights with the Assassin's Mark for the power charges and bonus damage. Proper aiming of the Glacial Cascade will drastically boost your effectiveness, so keep the largest burst just behind your target and not right on top of him. The more AoV you have, the easier it is to consistently land all the hits. During maps, you will generate charges from the Discipline of the Forbidden on a kill, but for single targets, quality on Assassin's Mark is key to maintain power charge uptime. And now, last but not least, let me show you a few important tips and things to keep in mind. The Heat Shiver is a critical damage amplifier for this build, although it may be a bit pricey, its value is undeniable. Pairing with the Herald of Ash activates Trinity support at full uptime. Just don't equip Trinity until this combo is in place. Before that, the Bone Chill is a good substitute if you're running the Shaper of Winter, or just use increased critical damage instead. Heat Shiver requires for you to consistently freeze or chill enemies, so make sure that you've invested enough into those effects first. Nodes like the Glacial Cage and the Winter's Embrace are great, and a medium cluster Jovel with Astonishing Affliction and the Cold Conduction will help also. On top of this, make sure to take the Critical Mastery that boosts the effect of non-damaging elements by 50%. If you're still having trouble proccing the Trinity, then consider adding a Fire Exposure via the Glove Implicits to balance your elemental output. Don't run Bone Chill and Trinity together, they will serve different purposes. And then ask for Primordial Jevels, then not for the cost, unless they're usually cheap, so don't worry too much about them. So let me know what you think about this Elementalist build in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous Top 10 Best Builds video, where I showed even more powerful builds. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.